Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where we are currently working on our Minmus outpost. However, I do want to take a look at our active contracts here. Okay, yeah, so we've got a lot of things that we need to do here. I mean, docking around Minmus, planting a flag on Minmus and the moon is all something that we can do very easily. And a new station on a solar orbit is something we'll do eventually. And this is ion collector science from the surface of the moon. So we actually kind of need to go back to the surface of the moon and Minmus. And we also need to dock around Minmus. Okay. We'll work on that last one first, I think. Well, actually, it's been a while since we visited either the moon or Minmus. Maybe we should do a landing? At the very least, it could get some of our people experience, right? So we could pull open the Pratihara Lander Mark 1. And then we need to check to see what we don't have on the surface of those locations right now. Now, this is, of course, a passive seismometer and communitron and photovoltaic panel. I believe that... Let's see, this is under ground? Utility? I forget where these are. No, it's under cargo. That's right. So what we don't have, then, is we don't have an ionographer up there, I believe. And I think we have everything else here up there that is useful anyway. We could just bring up a pair of photovoltaic panels and an ionographer. That would work just fine. And then we could use, say... We're going to need an engineer, a scientist, and a pilot here. So we'll bring Lelock, Kendrard, and in fact, I want Kendrard to be in the first one here. I usually just prefer my pilot to be in that first seat. And then we'll bring Bill along, since he's our currently only engineer. And then this will be, the idea for this will be that this will be a moon landing, I believe. Although, if we're quick about it, we may be able to do this all in one launch. We'll see. We will see how quick about it we are. I kind of doubt it, but all in one launch? Actually, one launch. Could we? Do we have enough fuel in this to do a moon trip, then hop over to Minmus? I don't know. I have no idea. At any rate, I don't think that should be what we do here. So... we're going to do this. I didn't check any of this, but we should be completely fine on all of these stages. Yeah, it looks okay. I think we may want to have this stage be, like, up here. But overall, that looks fine. We should definitely start heading over towards the prograde marker. Now, we can't actually lock to anything, which is awkward to be sure. But that is, of course, because Kendrard is not particularly good at his job. We'll grab this atmosphere analysis. We may as well. We're wanting to tip a little bit here. Oh, cannot run while stowed. Right. Fair enough. So our apoapsis height is looking pretty good here. We'll just try to hit up that prograde marker a bit here. And I'm trying to have our heading be exactly 90, but it's not exact. That's fine. We're going to be detaching our side boosters very shortly here. And I'm just holding position until then. There we go. We've cleared them. Fantastic. And our apoapsis is currently 75. We'll go ahead and do that. And I'm going to go ahead and detach these now. They will, of course, explode. That is expected and the way that this is designed. So we're going to go ahead and do something along the lines of this for our maneuver. And we'll slowly make our way over towards that. Of course, we're not particularly efficient at this, but that's fine. This is going to be apparently a 1 minute 37 second burn, but it's not actually going to be. We'll see what it's actually going to be in a moment. As soon as we get out of the atmosphere, anyway. So we're just currently trying to hold at the maneuver node. And we need Kendrard to get a little bit of skill here in order to do that. And it will be useful for him to have this skill for our future missions. So this is completely fine. Bill is just along for training purposes. And of course, Lilac is also getting trained. So we're going to be hitting space momentarily here. Right about... a little longer than this. Right about now. Okay, the 47 seconds, so T minus 23.5 seconds is when we want to begin this burn. That's fine. Let's go ahead and position for that. And we'll burn now. Excellent. So off we go. And this is going to burn out basically this whole stage, but that's fine. We don't care. And we're just going to want to land at our existing landing site on both the moon and Minmus. This should get us just into orbit. I think with this stage alone is what I'm currently leaning towards believing. Let's just position a little towards radial here, or anti-radial. I never know which is which, and ultimately it doesn't matter. Okay. Didn't quite make it. That's fine. We're going to head on up over to here. There we go. And we're going to continue to burn until we get in... here. Good enough. Good enough. Moon is right here right now, so maybe somewhere around here. We'll have to wait until after we orbit once, but that's okay. I don't mind that. And this encounter is actually pretty good. And you know, with the space station refuel, we probably could land on both. In fact, we definitely could land on both on this single launch. It's an interesting option, to be sure. To be sure. Yeah, it would work. I'm 100% sure it would work. So we're going to head over to here. Except that we don't have a docking port on this. We can't dock. So I'm a moron. I mean, we knew that. But we can't dock this up, so that actually won't work. So we're not going to do it in a single launch. We'll do it in two. Hello, what are you? Are you space junk? Yeah, I believe both of these are space junk, actually. Okay, so we're just warping over to this, and it'll be 51 seconds, the T-minus that we want to burn at. Leave? Yeah, 51 seconds. Fantastic. So we'll just get in position for this burn, and we will warp this on up towards 51. And we will burn this right about now. Excellent. And off we go. Mostly because we're in need of cash. I mean, we don't need cash that badly, but I would like to clean up some of these contracts, for sure. We've been working on the moon base for a long time, and let's definitely work on this a bit before we start work on another base. I mean, we are going to work on another base. Guaranteed. We're going to put up a Minmus base. That is 100% for sure. But not, I think, exactly right now. So we are pushing out our apoapsis nicely here. Where exactly is the moon? I was expecting to see the moon by now, halfway into this burn. I don't know why. But I definitely was. Any moment now. I mean, it should be coming visible very, very shortly. Very, very shortly indeed. Unless my bearings are just completely wrong. I don't know. I've been a little discombobulated today, so who knows? It's hard to say. We have 180 meters left in this burn regardless, and I trust the maneuver node. The maneuver node does not lie. So that'll be fine. And we'll just push this on in over this way a little bit more. Good enough. That'll definitely do. In fact, I'm going to bring this in a little lower, down to like 15 kilometers. There we go. That is very close indeed. Now the question is, when we enter the moon system, where exactly is the experiment control station going to be located? That is the question here. So let's find that out. The answer, not very... Actually, it's kind of coming into the daylight right now. So that's decent timing. Let's go ahead and do a retrograde burn here. And this should be okay, but I'm actually going to bring this way, way down. And we're going to look to quasi-circularize this. And we'll go ahead and head over towards that marker. That'll be 300 meters per second. That's completely fine. Let's position ourselves over here. Is this going to end up being a, like, Apollo-style descent stage? That would be entertaining if it did, but that's not, in fact, the goal here. We want to burn this at T minus 15 seconds. Okay. We'll go ahead and warp ahead towards 15 seconds. And we will burn this now. Just doing a pretty decent little braking maneuver here. I mean, we have so much DV left in this thing. I feel like I could land on this. It would have to be a flat location, though, and getting the object down to the ground and then back up would be real interesting. We might be able to jump it, I suppose. But all things considered, I think I'd rather not. So let's just check how we're doing here. Yeah, a little bit more burn here isn't bad. And we'll just do that. Excellent. That'll do. And then we're going to need to warp over to about here, 20 minutes in the future. We may need to give this an orbit or two if we want to wait until this is in proper daylight. That's interesting. Yeah, this is definitely still in darkness. I'm going to give this another orbit, I think. So let's go ahead and warp to here. And the station is actually catching up on us and is going to be passing above us a little bit here. Or is it catching up? Not entirely sure it's catching up. I think we should be leaving it behind, actually, now that I think about it. Okay, so at this point, it's more in daylight, I suppose. Yeah, that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and do a retrograde burn around here, but I do want to make sure that we're going to be passing over it. I want to do something kind of like this. Just continue tweaking that a little. Yeah, something like that should do. 400 meters per second is absolutely fine. And we will want to burn this at T minus 20 seconds. Sounds good to me. I think I'm okay with landing as it is right now. So we'll go ahead and warp over towards that. And yeah, this is going to drift a little bit. We expect this. So in fact, I'm going to have it be up like here, slightly ahead of it. So we're going to burn this at T minus 20 seconds, and we'll go ahead and warp towards that. I feel like we're going to overshoot this, but we're going to be burning this like basically, no, I actually want to bring it back a little bit. I moved it too much, I feel like. Okay. So we're going to burn this here in about 12 seconds. And the sun is just rising over here, so that should be relatively decent. And we'll burn now. Excellent. So this will be shifting our orbit towards the experiment control station more and more, which we will go ahead and set as our target at this point. Excellent. That is fantastic. So we can see here that we are about 11 kilometers away right now. And we're going to continue getting closer and closer. I do want to definitely be burning target retrograde right now. This is something that needs to be happening because we're kind of passing over it. We're going to have to redirect over this way a little bit, but that's fine. We've got plenty of delta V to make this happen. Let's just continue pointing target retrograde here. And yeah, you can see here we're getting further away from the outpost, but that's okay. That is completely fine. We will fine-tune this as we get a little bit closer. And right now, we are moving towards it a little bit. That is okay as well. Although, now that I think about it, I want to move this marker. You can see the marker right there. I'm going to move this marker over... not that way. Over this way. Yes. Yes. Kind of like that. Okay. For now, let's go ahead and target retrograde. And we're going to have our suicide burn be happening in about 1 minute 20 seconds. That's okay. We are going to go ahead and warp towards that a little bit. And I'm going to come out of this warp about now. And we'll point like this. Should really probably be overshooting this a little bit. That's okay. We can always go back up and retarget if we need to. No big deal there. And we'll go ahead and burn now. I feel like we're coming in very quickly, but that's the point of a suicide burn. That is indeed the point of... oh boy. Oh boy. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Nothing broke there. We just bounced? I'm really confused by nothing breaking there. But you know what? I'll take it. I don't know how that happened. Okay. We're going to come in real close here. And that's fine. Ah, that was definitely fast. Definitely fast. I'm trying to fight this tip right now. We're not going to get it. Okay. Okay, that's exciting. That was one of the worst landings I have ever done in my life. I love it. I don't understand how it worked. In all honesty, I really, really don't understand how nothing blew up there. Did I accidentally leave on a cheat? No, there's no crash damage, unbreakable joints on. That somehow just worked. I have no idea how, and I don't know how we're going to stand this back up again. But right now, I do want to... where's our ladder? Ooh, our Kerbals are actually facing the ground here. That's really potentially problematic. I'm going to retract our landing legs here. That did nothing. Okay. I was hoping that that would do something. But it did literally nothing. What about re-extending them? Yeah, because of our tip. That's fine. I came in a little fast. There was no doubt about that. The suicide burn didn't take into account running out of fuel. So, I believe, yeah, all hatches are currently obstructed. Oh, hello! That's interesting. That still hatches being obstructed. We did manage to get it off the ground there. What if we retract these legs? Ah! That's still a hatch obstruction, apparently. Well, I believe that I can use, like, a swing effect here. Oh, yeah. This is doable. We did hit the ground there, which is very unfortunate. What if I were to extend the legs? Now. It pushes us back the other way. Okay. So, I think this is doable. This is definitely awkward. Not my best landing that I ever had. I'm interested in checking how much electric charge we have. Not a ton. We don't have RCS on this either. But what if we were to EVA somebody now? All hatches are still obstructed. Okay. The other option is that we could throttle up here. I would prefer that we didn't have to do that. It's entirely my fault, of course. But I would really prefer that we didn't have to do that. We can try it, I suppose. Nope, I hate it. I hate it. We can turn like this. What if we were to turn more uphill? So we can use gravity on our side like this. That's interesting. Yeah, we're making some progress here. This is so awkward. Yeah, the wheels give us too much stability. So we can't have that. Let's continue reaction wheeling until we're, like, here. And let's see about some momentum. It's not quite enough there. BVA somebody? Yes! Yes! Okay, this is ridiculous. Whoa! Did you see that headbutt? Did you see that headbutt? Okay, so I want Kendrard to actually be in here. I want someone else to be out. Okay. Because I want to have a pilot, just in case. This is the most awkward thing I think I've ever done. Ah, no, 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 no. No. It flipped to the wrong thing. Okay. Well, regardless, we are in an interesting situation here because we can now get leverage here. Like this. We appear to be stuck right now. Let's not be stuck, ideally. Okay, that's some really awkward physics there. Really awkward physics. Okay. However, what we could theoretically do is grab onto here and let go again. That didn't headbutt anywhere near as effectively. Okay. What if we flowed some fuel so that the fuel is in here rather than out here? I mean, we don't have a lot. Actually, all of our fuel is... We don't have a central fuel tank in this. That's not going to work. Okay. Well, this is definitely an interesting predicament, and I will solve this. I really think that I'm close here. Okay. Very, very close. Very, very close indeed. I'm pretty sure I can do that. But, I don't know. I still don't understand how we bounced like that. But you know what? I'll take it. We definitely came in way too fast. Ooh, that's really close there. That one was really close. So was that. Not quite. We're incredibly close to getting this tipped up here. You know what? If I were to throttle up when we were up like that... Okay, let's try this again. Very, very close there. Nope. I was hoping that our gimbaling would get us going a little bit more upward rather than along the ground. That's what I was hoping for there. This thing is too stable. It's way too stable. And those legs, they don't deploy quickly enough to really make use of. What we need to do is we need to get back in flight, I think. And try the landing again. This time, a little bit slower. So that's going to be exciting, to be sure. We've dropped off the scientist, though. So that's the thing that has happened. I don't want to press the spacebar, that's for sure. We have just a tiny amount of thrust here. Like, not full thrust, just barely any. No, that doesn't really seem to help. That just propels us ahead rather than being able to use it as gimbaling. Okay. I mean, our reaction wheels are already maxed out, right? So, there's that. We are going to get power very shortly. I mean, sunrise is quite soon. So, there is that. We've used up a lot of power on this wiggling motion, for sure. I want to be here. Lelock, I want you to come over here and see about... I want to try something kind of dumb. This may end up killing Lelock, but I'm going to grab here, down like that, switch to the actual rocket, and just compress it down as much as possible. It's going to let go when we switch back. Hello. I don't pretend to know how that worked. I don't pretend to know how any of this worked. It's just one of those days. It's just one of those days. Okay. So, that's the thing that happened. And we will never speak of it again. So what we're going to do now is we are going to proceed as if nothing happened. We're going to hop on this ladder. And we're going to climb up, and we're going to stow our EVA pack. So we're going to stow that, of course, up here. And we are going to grab the ionographer. We're going to need to stow this as well, it looks like. That ionographer is very heavy. Very, very heavy. I was not expecting to have to remove this as well. Sure. Okay. So what we'll do instead is we will have Lelock hop in. We'll have Bill hop out. And Bill is going to grab the photovoltaic panel. Perfect. Since we can apparently do that. And that'll free us up a slot. So that'll be okay. And we're going to head on over this way. Of course, we cannot fly over there with the current setup because of the way that the changes to the game work. So we will, of course, drop our photovoltaic panel over here. I don't think we need more photovoltaic panels, but you never can have too much power, right? At least if I don't bother to check how much power anything needs. So we're going to go ahead and drop this off over here. It will be daylight here quite soon. We'll go ahead and place that there. Perfect. And then Bill will come back and we will grab another one. Excellent. And this is, maybe we should go with, like, the landing that shall not be named or something. Because that was, it was exciting, but I have no idea how it happened. None of it. Well, I know how some of it happened. Some of it happened because I'm dumb. In fact, that's why all of it happened. Go ahead and get up, Bill. I pressed space instead of F, so, there was that too. Okay, so we're now going to grab the second photovoltaic panel. And we're going to let go over here, and we're going to head on up. That will be just fine. Camera's going to awkwardly clip through, but I mean, everything about this mission has been awkward, so sure, why not? We do need to plant a flag over here, but we're going to let our newbies do that for the XP. And we're going to drop off our photovoltaic panel just as soon as we arrive here with our very slow, laborious walk. We landed 25 meters away, kind of. But we ended up drifting a bit to being about 40 meters away. I don't pretend to understand the physics behind what you have witnessed, but beyond this episode, let us never speak of it. So Bill has done his job and now needs to fetch his EVA pack. Just as soon as he arrives at the ladder, anyway. There we go. And up he goes, and he will now fetch his EVA pack. And he will hop back into the crew hatch. Perfect. And now Lelock is going to EVA. And we're going to use this. Actually, we need to drop off both of these in the cargo storage unit. And then we're going to drop off our ionographer. And we will also have Lelock go ahead and set up a flag down here for the XP. Ah! I jumped. I pressed space to let go, but apparently it had already let go. Well, Lelock just wants to test the reports of lowered gravity. Turns out they're accurate, so that is okay. Gonna head on over. And we'll deploy our ionographer. And that won't start running, I believe, until after we get power over here. Which, of course, we don't have any right now because it is currently nighttime. And that is just fine. Go ahead and deploy this, and that will eventually finish our ion collector science. That's great. Here is fine. And while we're here, we may as well remove this flag. There can only be one. And we're going to plant a new flag. Perfect. Scientists are best pilots. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to head on back. We're going to grab our stuff out of the cargo storage unit. Then we'll have our pilot come down here and do the same thing. I mean, I guess that physics was calculated. Like, really, really well calculated. I don't understand, but whatever. Whatever. We'll take it. I mean, if it had broken, I would have sent up a rescue mission, but it would have been an interesting rescue mission for sure. We would have had to, like, ditch the science and bring only the passenger capacity. So we'll go ahead and board here. That's assuming they survived. We'll go ahead and board here, and we will have Kendrard go ahead and EVA. And down we go. In fact, we can use the EVA pack for Kendrard because Kendrard is a pilot and doesn't have to carry any components. So we can get there nice and quickly. Fantastic. Without shadows, I was a little bit off on where I thought I was relative to the ground, but that's okay. Scientists are not the best pilots. We're going to plant a new flag here. There we go. And this is just going to simply be Kendrard bounces! Exclamation mark. Perfect. Kendrard does bounce, apparently. I don't know how, but Kendrard bounces. There's no doubt about that. So back we go, and with that, it is also time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we are going to bring these guys back to Earth, and probably send them to Minmus. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time. Don't understand what just happened. I really... Oh...